What's up everyone, this is CyberKnight, and today I have a sort of different video for you guys because we're going to go through the products that came out in 2021 and actually do one of these tier list videos, which is something I know I'm very late to the party on. I know that this was like a meme, several years ago. I think people were doing these, or YouTubers were doing these videos. But I figured this would be like the best way I could rank these products that came out of last year, and also finally do my first tier list video. I don't know. We'll see if you guys like this or not. So let me know down in those comments below and hitting that like button. Also subscribe if you haven't already. I think my analytics show that only about half of you guys are subscribed to actually watching my videos. So please do that and ring that bell so you actually get notified. And also let me know if you like this setup too. I've used it for live streams and I've wanted to do more live streams, but for the last couple of months, I keep getting sick. I hadn't gotten the big disease or anything. I have like sinus infections and allergies and stuff that keeps going on. Like right now, even my voice hopefully sounds okay, but my throat's really scratchy. So I hope I sound decent enough. Anyway, though, if you guys want to see more of these kind of videos, just let me know down in those comments. I'm trying to come up with some cool ideas and some other things to do to kind of help with mental health and not always do openings, not always do the same thing this year. But we're going to do a lot of openings because I just really enjoy those videos too, I'll admit it. So anyway, let's go on ahead and get to those products that came out last year. And remember too, these are just my opinions. You can agree or disagree, but again, let me know your opinions down in those comments below. So let's get started. First off, we have Legendary Duelist Season 2. This product was actually pretty cool. I mean, I enjoyed this one because of mainly the Galaxy Eyes. We finally got Afterglow Dragon in this. It was one of the promos you could get. This gave us reprints for the Blue Eyes cards, which was really good. Another reprint, I believe, for Alternative as well, which was really needed because they didn't want to give out too many reprints on that one. Let's see, the Harpy Ladies were in this, they got reprinted, the Train cards, Black Rose, so there was some pretty good stuff, and I do like these little box things too. We even know we're getting another one, I believe, sometime this year now. But, yeah, if you were going after some certain cards, that could be kind of tough, because a lot of the promos were like Bingo Machine, again, Afterglow. The Blue Eyes White Dragon we finally got with the thick thighs, yeah, I forget its name every time, but I, for some reason, always see those thighs, and yeah, it is very questionable. But yeah, this was a pretty good set. It's just that a lot of things were pretty tough to get to. So I want to give this kind of middle of the road, I think, for now, and say it's around the B tier, where it's still worth picking up if you see them, unless you just have everything from this set. But man, even if you bought a display box of this set, you could still not get anywhere close to what you're looking for. Then next up we have Blazing Vortex. Unfortunately, last year was kind of known for the main sets not being too great. I mean, there was one that was really good, but we'll get to it. Blazing Vortex, though, was just not one of the better sets. It did give us Pot of Prosperity, which is good. It gave us the new Armed Dragon Sport, which is more of a nostalgic thing for me, more than competitive. I mean, they were really fun. They weren't technically weak. I feel like they were actually pretty good, but not enough to be like Tier 1 or some kind of big thing in the meta, so that's unfortunate. Also, it gave us War Rocks, I believe, finally in that set, which, again, was a cool idea, but they never did much with it. You know, War Rocks never really became anything, so it's that caveman archetypes. You see, you probably have already forgotten even. But, yeah, I think I want to give this as well kind of middle of the road. Or do I want to give it the C? You know what? I'll give it B for now. It's a tough one for me because really Prosperity is the only thing that really saves this one, and I do like Armed Dragon support, but that nostalgia and me liking those cards isn't enough for that set to really be worth it. Like this, if you found this set right now, I would say probably pass on it. Then for our structure deck, the first structure deck we got of 2021, and that was Freezing Chains. This one was actually kind of cool. I mean, it was cool to see something new for Ice Barriers. They haven't gotten support in a very long time. A new Trishula, which I'm still bummed out about. They didn't redo the other two dragons as well. Gungnir and Brondak kind of deserve something. But it was cool to see a new Rage form of Trishula. And it's actually a powerful card. And can even bring out the original Trishula. Will it be as crazy, though, as the original Trishula? No. It doesn't end up that way, unfortunately. It's not really one of those that, you know, like Trishula's been used in every deck that can Synchro Summon. You're not really going to see this one. And also, too, this deck still is mainly made to go against Synchro decks. They updated it so it went against all the extra deck forms, but still, you can tell it was made to go against Synchro Summoning like the old days. So, with the game changing so much, I feel like it kind of fell short. It was cool to see something new for Ice Barriers, and I like seeing something new for an older archetype. I always want to see that. But this structure deck isn't one of those that you could buy 3 of, I feel like, and do very well. You were still missing quite a few cards. There wasn't, I feel like, a really big reprint in it that could have helped it out, and yeah, the new cards just weren't that crazy. I feel like Konami could have boosted it a little bit more. So for me, I really wasn't a fan of the structure deck. I'm going to give it a C for this one, where it's just good enough. The thing that saves it is bringing back an older archetype, really. Now, Ghosts from the Past. You might be surprised my answer on this one. I like this set because Ghost Rares, and also it did give us Dragoonities. But I'm also very salty about this set because Dragoonity should have just gotten a structure deck. I'm not letting that go. And it's the same that happens in Brothers of Legend, where the Utopia deck should have just been a structure deck, not thrown into the set. Although easier to get, because the Dragoonities were not easy to get out of this set. They were very tough, which annoyed me to no end. And again, it helps that, yes, we brought back Ghost Rares, but you could go through a whole case and not get a Ghost Rare. And I believe, yeah, they should be relatively tough to get. I'm not saying get a couple of display boxes and you should get a Ghost Rare, but it's a little ridiculous on how tough they made them too. I feel like it was way tougher than even like Rage of Raw or even the Synchro Storm sets, you know, where they also featured Ghost Rares, but come on, you know? So honestly, I think I'm going to give this the B tier as well. I like Ghost Rares and I want to see more Ghost Rares, and I would honestly prefer to see Ghost Rares come back instead of Starlights. Or if we could have both, I mean, hey, more rarities the better. But I still believe that if the OCG, if Japan gets a structure deck, we should just get it too. I don't like it when we have to really hunt down these cards where I have to spend probably hundreds to get everything for Dragoonities versus $30 to get 3 structure decks. Then, of course, Ancient Guardians. This is one of those types of sets that either does well or it doesn't. There's not an in-between, I feel like. This is one of those that's based off of 3 archetypes. You have the Sulfachords, you have the Beretics, and you have the Adoidic. All 3 archetypes were interesting, and they did get more support, but none of them really became anything. Again, you either do well, or you don't. You either have, like, Sky Strikers, or you have Sulfachord. I mean, you know, it's kind of that way. This set did include some good Collector's Rares, and I did have some really good luck getting Collector's Rares from it. And even some good reprints, too. I mean, the Trading Collector's Rare is nice. Snake Rain, that's really good. Even Snake Rain being reprinted in this, and some of the other stuff, too, was good. But other than that, it just wasn't a very good set. If any of these archetypes would have done a little bit better, I could have given them something. They tried, I feel like, with Beretic to use them with Drytron, but it just... I mean, is there anything notable to you guys? Let me know down in those comments. Maybe I'm being too hard on this set, but it wasn't very good. This is definitely one that if I do ever see it still, I'm like, no, I don't want to pick it up anymore. You know, if I do, I'm wanting to get a Collector's Rare, and if you don't get a Collector's Rare, you are not getting your money back. And even some of those Collector's Rares still will not give you your money back on a box. So I find that to be a failure. I think that's a D for me. That's just... It's like I said, they're either good or bad, and we see that happen. Like, every other set's good. This one later this month I hope will be much better. Then let's move on to Lightning Overdrive, the next main set that came out for last year. This is the one that gave us the Utopia support. It gave us the new Black Rose stuff, too. It gave us quite a few things, actually, on that. A little bit more of the War Rocks and all that, too. I feel like this one was a little bit better than Blazing Vortex. Not by much, so I do want to give it an A. The Utopia support was cool. We actually got a lot of Utopia support last year, again, with the structure deck and everything. Or Brothers of Legend, if you count us. But, yeah, I feel like getting the Black Rose stuff, too, helped it out. And I think it was just a hair bit better than Blazing Vortex. I would almost put Blazing Vortex down to C and then it to B. But I still feel like both of them are better than a different main set that came out, which we'll get to, but that's my reasoning on it. Now we have the 2 structure decks that were kind of a surprise, and some people wanted, but some really didn't either. It's a mix, and here's my thoughts on it. Of course, the Slifer, the Sky Dragon, Egyptian God deck, and then the Obelisk, the Tormentor, Egyptian God deck. They're both right here. I thought these were actually pretty good products. Hear me out. I know they didn't have any really good reprints. Harvey's Feather Duster was nice, but nothing crazy, you know? So they didn't have the biggest reprints in them. It was kind of cool because nostalgia, but these were actually fairly good structure decks to help beginners. And that's the thing I like about them. Yeah, they weren't too crazy, but we do not have starter decks anymore, which I find honestly stupid, in my opinion. I think we should have starter decks because if I'm trying to teach someone new to Yu-Gi-Oh, like lately I've been trying to teach my wife how to play, and she's probably regretting that, because when I start talking about Link Summoning, Pendulums, Xyzs, Synchros, all this kind of stuff, and then like hand traps and all this, her eyes are just glazing over. She's done, you know, and that's how most players are going to feel. I think if I try to play Yu-Gi-Oh right now, learn how to play, I'd be like, screw this, it's gone on too long. It's like me trying to watch One Piece now. It's the reason I don't get into it. It's too many episodes. Would I enjoy it? Maybe. But there's so many episodes, I don't have the time to watch it all. I don't have the time to learn all of this. It's too much. So we need a starter deck to help ease people into it. And I thought Speed Duels was a good way, but they kind of stopped Speed Duels. I know we're getting something later this year, but it kind of went away. So I actually liked these products. I actually thought they were good. The nostalgia was there. Nothing too crazy on reprints, which normally helps a structure deck, but they were playable. So I want to give both of these an average on that too. I'll give them B. I almost want to give them A just because, again, they were the starter decks, basically, that we haven't had, so I want to give them that. I keep almost wanting to go back on my word and say Ghost of the Past is an A. I'm going to keep it at B. I think I'll keep it. But yeah, I think my reasoning, though, is just basically we need starter decks. These became those starter decks, and people had fun with them. We need more of that. Then next up, King's Court. Probably my favorite set this year. I'll admit it. Probably my favorite, because not just because the face cards got new stuff. Yes, you could say I'm CyberKnight, so of course the set that had new stuff for King's Knight, Queen's Knight, and Jack's Knight, that's what got me. While it helped, it was cool that they actually changed their strategy up a little bit. They could summon the god cards actually instead of just being tributes. The new cards for them were actually a lot of fun. Then the reprints were cool. We saw Lightning Storm was also in this, and the collector's rares were really good. And then even we got the surprise of Millennium rares for god cards, which are still really cool chase cards. I kind of like how they include things that they don't really talk about until the set's out. People are like, whoa, I just got a god card. This wasn't part of the set list, was it? And we start finding out stuff like that. I like that kind of surprise, you know? So for me, I want to put King's Court probably as an A. I would probably give it S tier if some of the chase cards weren't so ridiculous. You could tell certain ultra rares were much easier to get. That Lightning Storm wasn't going to be too easy, which I get. But also, the reprints didn't help really calm down things, and you could go through a case and not get a god card. So I still find that a little annoying, and especially too, which I think it was Team APS that I heard say this, and I feel like they said it the best, where if something gets reprinted, it should be a reprint and easier to get, not ridiculously tough to get. All right, Dawn of Majesty. I wanted this set to be so good. I really like this set. I wanted it to be so much better than it was, and it really wasn't that good. I love the Stardust support. If we're talking about that, you got me. You have Ready Fusion. That was pretty good too. A new Instant Fusion, that was cool, but now we're just now seeing, I think, more people use that. We got the Sword Soul Girl, the first one, you know, which I don't see people use as much either. It has potential, but it's not there yet. So this was a set, I feel like that had a lot of promises that could have been cool, but it just really wasn't. So for me, I'm having a hard time because I want to give it a C. You know what? I'll do this. I'll meet you guys halfway because I feel like people are going to be mad because of Stardust, and I don't really want to give it this low of a score because of Stardust either. I'll move Blazing Vortex down one, and then I'll give Dawn of Majesty a boost up. I'll do that because I do feel like it was better than Blazing Vortex. So that makes a little bit more sense to me. I'll give it that because it did have some better secret rares, and Blazing Vortex just really did it. All right, then after that we have the 10 of Ancient Battles, the Megatens for 2021. Megatens, you know what I'm going to say. They're good. They're always worth it. I'm going to give it an A. I would almost give it an S tier. If it was last year's, I would give it S tier. This year, I feel like wasn't as good. I honestly feel that way. Now we got Crossout finally, really good. You could get a whole case and not get one though. I don't like that. I know it's a big set, so you could say it wasn't necessarily short printed. I don't know. I feel like Crossout should have been a little easier to get. Also, I'm not a big fan of losing promos still. I'm not a big fan of that. I mean, yeah, last year had Dragoon, so I like that a little bit more, but for this one, I'm just going to say, I'm just going to put it in A, because it's still worth getting for sure. You see the Megatens, it's almost always still worth getting those. Even the old ones now are worth it, so we'll give it an A. And then moving on to the last structure deck of 2021, man, did it end with a bang. I mean, I felt like we started off with one of the weakest structure decks to one of the best. So I'm just bringing it to S tier. I'm just going to do it. The Cyber Strike structure deck was amazing. Not only did it have a very good reprint, which the others lacked in, that it actually had an archetype that always gets support, so you know you're going to get access to all that older support with the new stuff, Cyber Darks, you know, and Cyber Dragon are kind of basically the same. So they already had all that older stuff they could draw from. You got good reprints. You got impermanence, which made the deck worth buying even if you didn't care about anything else. It was worth spending $10 on this, if you were lucky enough to find it for $10, and get that impermanence. It was worth buying 3 of these. That says something. We haven't seen anything that good since the Salmon Great one, which I believe that's the one that had Ash Blossom. The only downside is the Salmon Great one I would still technically count as better because you could buy 3 of that and that was a meta deck. With this one, Cyber Darks aren't meta, unfortunately. They're fun, they're definitely powerful, and you do have to watch out for them. They can turn around a duel pretty quickly, but they're not, you know, tier 1 meta. So that's what drags it down a little. But I still say S tier. Out of the products that we had from 2021, you can't tell me that's not one of the best products, because that's easily worth its money, even now. Then, of course, we have Legendary Duelist Synchro Storm, another Legendary Duelist set. I tend to really like these sets. This one, of course, also included a Ghost Rare, just like we saw from Rage of Ra. That made me happy. The thing I liked about it, too, is that Sherry got new support. That Synchro Monster is really good. It's the most expensive card. And also getting something new for Clearwing was awesome, but not as useful. I feel like Crystal Wing is still so much better and easier to bring out, so that was kind of a downer. Then, of course, the Lyricals got new support, which I thought was kind of cool, too. They had some hype. They didn't really become anything too crazy, I feel like. Maybe that'll change? I don't know. But, that's what makes it tough for this. The Ghost Rare part makes me want to give it, like, an A. But then, realizing that only really maybe 2 cards from the whole set are really what people want. One of the Lyrical cards, and then Sherry's Synchro Monster are really the main ones people want competitive-wise. You want that Ghost Rare, probably more for your collection, because it's not as easy to bring. Like I said, I feel like Crystal Wing is better. I almost want to give it a B and say it's average. And then part of me even will say C, because this is, again, a set where if you buy a box right now, you don't get Sherry's Synchro Monster. It's like over $100, or at least $100, I think, last time I checked. And you don't get the Ghost Rare, you're not getting your money back. So I think I want to give it a C for now. It is one that I could argue a B, but I feel like I could just say C. Now, of course, Burst of Destiny, probably the one you want to hear about the most. It's pretty obvious where I'm putting this one. From what you're seeing on everything else, I mean, look at that right there. I am going to go on ahead and say S tier. It was easily the best main set of last year. It gave us Destroy Phoenix Enforcer, which is pretty much the replacement for Dragoon. If something happens to Dragoon, we don't know yet in the TCG. Everyone keeps saying it's going to happen. Hadn't yet. So, who knows? And then Dragoon might get hit, too. I mean, that's what happened in Japan. You got that. You got the Sword Souls. You got Flunderies. You have several different decks you can build from this set. You got, of course, the other Destiny Heroes, too, which were good from this. I mean, there was some really good cards in this set. I think it goes without saying, it is one of the best main sets we had and easily the best one of last year. I'm hoping we can beat that this year, but we'll see. The first one coming out for us with the Blue Eyes and Dark Mission support might be enough. We'll see what happens, but it's a good set for sure. Then, of course, after that, Maximum Gold El Dorado. This set had no business being as good as it was. Seriously, the first one was pretty good. I'll admit it. First one was good, and I would say it's pretty close to like the Megaton even of last year. And that's what happened on this one. You got a lot of alt arts. You got a lot of good reprints. You got Access Code Talker, which arguably probably should have been part of the Megaton. And then if it was, I would probably switch these two around or something, you know? But I think, you know what? I'm going to give Maximum Gold El Dorado an A. It had some problems. Not everyone likes Premium Gold Rare, but I do. So that's why I give it a little bit higher. Probably for most people, since they don't like the rarity, they'd probably say B. I'm still going to go with A, because it had some good reprints. I would say, arguably, it's worth getting this sometimes over the Megatons. And the last one is Brothers of Legend. Where do I put this? Seriously, this one's kind of tough, because I love the Dragons of Legend series. This is kind of like a new one of that. This one's pretty good, but again, it's kind of like with Ghosts of the Past. It annoys me because the Utopia deck was part of it, and not just its own structure deck. That still annoys me. It brought a lot of Waking the Dragon cards, again, because we got Curry Babylon finally. We got the Kariba brothers. You gain points with me on that. But also, those reprints. They were good reprints, but they were still really tough to get. But then again, we got reprints of the Evil Heroes. We got Magician's Souls. That's really good. Again, Droplet being reprinted is good too, but yeah, you kind of have me on that. So I'm actually going to give it a B. Because of how tough some of the cards are to get, I feel like that's fair enough on it. Otherwise, you know, if it was a little easier to get some of those reprints, I would say A. but I think I'm going to stick with the B. So yeah, those are my opinions. Let me know what you guys think. Do you agree? Do you disagree? I think we can kind of see that I kind of like sticking to the average on these because honestly, there weren't just absolutely terrible products I would say don't pick up at all. It's just Ancient Guardians would be the one I would say that now because if you've already gotten stuff you want, it's probably not worth picking up anymore unless you really want to hunt down for collector's rares. And then by that point, the prices they are, probably just buy them. I'm just saying. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. If you agree with me, let me know. If you disagree, let me know. And yeah, like and subscribe. Let me know if you want more content like this in the future. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys later. See ya.